Okay, everyone, we're connecting. I think we are live and good to go. So welcome everyone to the live trading room here at the Trading Base with Samurai Day Trading. And we have Lachlan here with us to teach us a few more things. Guys, I'm not taking a lot of your time. Lachlan literally just said that the markets are going crazy. So I am not going to take off your precious time. I want you to get into trading right away. Enjoy. Don't let a good crisis go to waste, guys. Remember that. Enjoy.
All right, well, good. So, ladies and gents, how are you? I hope you are fantastic. Arlen is 100% on the money on that one. We have a couple of global crises going on. The volatility has gone through the roof, which is, again, guys, if you're a day trader, it's a very, very good thing. I'm going to jump on your projection very quickly, guys. I'm going to lock in your chat so everybody can chat to everybody. Okay, so if I can get a test of the chat, that would be amazing. What I'm then going to do, guys, is jump on a couple of microphones. I have already been told, guys, by a number of traders that they've already finished trading. So if you have finished trading already, well done. That's fantastic. So all right, let's just get all our tech set up, making sure we're good to rock and roll. We're running across YouTube. So like I did last time, guys, I'll run you through the brief. We'll get everybody prepared for what I think is going to be quite a volatile session today. Guys, there's absolutely no doubt I think it's going to be quite volatile. I will turn my camera off, guys, at the start of the actual market, so my camera doesn't actually cover up the corner of one of the markets. So hi everybody. Hope you are fantastic. I'm just going to adjust that camera slightly. So the markets. Those markets, again, for those of you who were in coaching last night, many of you were in coaching last night, and I actually said to everyone in coaching, geez, you might remember it. I said to everybody, if the FDAX triggers this daily short, it's probably going to get down to its S6. Well, guess where it went last night? I mean, it went down to its S6. So, guys, that was a massive opportunity for the longer range target traders yesterday. That was just quite incredible. Suffice to say, guys, we've got a good day coming. There's no doubt about that. So, guys, welcome to the trial. We'll jump through the slides as quickly as we can, guys. I've got a lot of comments on the markets that I do need to update you with. So first and foremost, guys, we are going to be trading futures and CFDs today. Ultimately, what does that mean? There's risk, guys, in taking these trades. There'll be risk of making money and also losing money. Just hold on one second. Okay, so risk, guys, there'll be two risks: risk of making money and losing money. It's actually quite amazing how most traders globally will focus on the risk of losing money, when in actual fact, if you know what you're doing, there's actually a higher chance of making money than losing it. Andreas, how are you? Hope you are absolutely fantastic. Now, guys, moving to that, guys, because we are on CFDs and futures today, there is margin. What does that mean? We do borrow money every time we take a trade. What does that mean, guys? Our risk is even higher than if we were literally just trading the basic asset class without margin. Some people refer to margin ultimately as leverage. Now, everything we're going to do today is general information only. Past performance is not an indication of future performance. We're no longer allowed to use past performance as an indication of future performance. I'm going to do my best, guys, as per the education strategy. So as per everything we do, guys, in what we refer to as the 101 course, I'm going to guide you as best as I possibly can in and out of the market. Guys, understanding that the market is cranky today, guys, I think we're looking for long range longs, guys, long range buy signals. We're looking for short range sell signals, particularly on the European market, guys, unless it catches the cranky pants that everybody else has got. And again, we're going to be switching that and going for long range shorts. Guys, almost like we did, well, in fact, identical to what we did yesterday. So at the moment, the market environment today is exactly the opposite to what it was yesterday. It was exactly the opposite. So for those in the LTR yesterday, guys, we had an absolute blast on the sell signals. Today, I think we're going to be having a blast on the buy signals. Now, guys, what I do need to mention is also market risk factors. So again, I'm going to be projecting live charts. There's this beautiful thing called the internet. You're all aware of that. Guys, there could be price discrepancy between when I say, hey, there's a great trade at this price, please do your best to enter as per our education strategy. As you might actually find, guys, that you can or can't get the same fill that we're talking about. All right, so we'll do our best. guys, to bridge across those market risk factors and do our best to get on with the job of being very good at trading. Now, guys, quick intro. My name is Lockie. I'm the lead trader, guys, lead trader, lead educator at Samurai Day Trading. I've been in trading since 2007. So I discovered futures trading on the 1st of August 2007. I started my first trading school on the 1st of August 2009. So that school was based in Australia. The reason I started a trading school in Australia is there was, in my humble opinion, there were no decent trading schools. Everybody was basically teaching Forex and CFDs. When I worked out that both Forex and CFDs are open to manipulation by the broker that owns the market that they created for you. I discovered futures and I went, you know what, I'm going to go and open a futures trading school. And here we are. My journey started on the 1st of August 2007. Ultimately, guys, before that, I spent 15 years in the army. So I've got a pretty straight way of dealing with the markets, guys. Everything we do is mathematical. We follow a very, very strict formula on our signals. If you've got any questions about what we do, guys, they're 100% in alignment with our education. So please do not be shy on the questions. Now, what I'm going to focus on is actually 10 signal sets that are part of what we do. Over the last I started really developing my own stuff in 2009. So a lot of the stuff that we are doing today is literally developed in August, September, October to November-ish of 2009. So anybody that wants any kind of sample size as to how many signals that we've taken, as we're looking at around about 25,000 trades just for one of the signals called a buy switch trade alone. Again, we don't do anything unless it's over a 90% strike rate. So I'll guide you, guys, I'll guide you into that as required. For the European-based traders, you guys are setting up absolutely amazing shorts. Okay, so we'll get to the chart. We'll get to the chart very soon. Now, CSA, guys, top of the list there. All the four wows is what I'm going to be focused on today. CSA stands for candlestick analysis. So what we're doing is we're analyzing the strength or the weakness of every candle and then making decisions as to whether we are or are not going to be taking a trade. We will be focusing on two delta algorithms today. As the delta is a mathematical algorithm running behind the charts, guys. It's used to hunt institutional orders in the market. They're actually very, very easy to hunt, guys, as much as the banks pretend they're all very secretive. They generally follow the same behavior every day, so they're actually quite easy to hunt. So we'll be hunting some banks today, which is always good fun. We had a blast hunting them yesterday, there's no doubt. Guys, now I'm going to be talking about ratio versus static and dynamic trading. So just to clarify for everybody, a dynamic entry is an entry whereby the candle is moving up and down. As you do need, so that means the candle has not closed. You will need more, guys. You will need more experience to trade a dynamic entry versus a static entry. So for the beginner traders, you're going to focus on static signals. What it ultimately means, you will get slightly less signals. You're going to run at a higher strike rate. So you'll be up around about the 94, 95% strike rate as opposed to 92.5. The deal with that, though, ladies and gents, is that the static, once the 5-minute chart candle closes, guys, or the 15 closes, or the 30 closes, or the 60 closes, we get to draw some very, very key conclusions about what that market or what the candle actually means for us and what the market is most likely to do. Now, guys, everything we do is based on an ABC and stair-step principle. That was what I introduced into the market in 2009. It revolutionized my personal trading. So I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to do the same for you guys. Diane, how are you? Hope you're well. Cody, welcome on board. I'm looking for young Andy. So Andy, I'm going to allow your mic on. So guys, for those that have got their mics on, I've got a couple of traders in the background that are going to be helping me today. So if I see something that they don't, or vice versa, Petros, and I did get your message, guys. So celebration for Petros, guys. He's already finished trading for the day. So for those of you who do trade the European pre-market, guys, Akito, just to be super clear with you guys, my wife Akito has also finished trading for the day. They're already over their daily KPIs or their key performance indicators. Now, guys and girls, one thing you will learn about everything that we do, guys, at Samurai, it's all about let the market do the heavy lifting. So we don't assume anything about the market. What we do is we wait for the market to generate the signal for us. Then we determine whether the risk is too high or too low for what we want to do. Guys, then we suggest targets based on market volatility. Ultimately, the market generates the signals for us. So what does that mean? Guys, it's going to tell us everything we need: our stop loss placement, our time in trade, our likely short range target for the beginner traders, long range target for advanced traders. Guys, all that is done by the market. And the advantage we hold is we are futures traders. So everybody sees the same thing at the same time. So most institutional traders will be making the same decision as we are, as they've been doing since 2009. Now, when we get into the charts, ladies and gents, the NASDAQ up there will be in the top left-hand corner. S&P is down the bottom. The S&P is not only a trading chart in its own right. As you guys are S&P traders, you're on a stunning 15-minute long at the moment for those that do trade the pre-market. Guys, the S&P 500 is a really good reference chart for the NASDAQ. Likewise, the FESX, bottom right-hand corner. Guys, that is the biggest market in the world right now. So literally for the European Open, it's an incredible reference chart for all three of the above markets. And it's the primary reference chart for the FDAX. Okay, so we'll be watching the FESX very, very closely. Because if it decides to tank, everybody's going to go with it. If it decides to climb, which I do believe they're going to do today, guys, after an initial, so I do think we're going to get an initial sell down, then we're going to get a pretty well sustained climb. So we'll be able to navigate in and out of that as required. Now further, guys, this is the European Open trading room. So effectively, what do I want you to expect? Guys, market volatility today is higher than normal. Typically, we're looking for between 12 and 15 trades. We'll do short and long range targets. We're looking for split contracts for those that are tracing really, really large profits. We're going to be using a risk control point today. It's probably going to be around about that 12 to 16 tick mark. So once the NASDAQ has moved 12 to 16 ticks in our favor, guys, we'll start to reduce our risk. Please note that the risk control point is not your stop loss. So I'll be defining your stop area for you. And again, guys and girls, if the risk is too much for you because the markets are volatile, simply just wait for a lower risk trade. Now, again, guys, the one-to-one risk to reward stuff, it's a bit of a fallacy out there in the world. You know, that's kind of 25 years ago kind of education stuff. But what we will be doing, guys, we will be targeting a one-to-one risk to reward ratio only when we enter the trade. We will be engineering the risk significantly in our favor, guys, up around about typically the 50 to 1. We ended up with a 50 to 1 trade again yesterday. So that's what we ultimately will be targeting. And guys, not available through TTP yet, but again, some really exciting stuff being discussed. Guys, we do have a US close live trading room. So typically, guys, they pick up more trades than we do. So it's 17 to 20 trades. Guys, they focus on two markets. It does move a lot faster, the US close. So just be a little bit careful, guys, when I say that. If you're going to go from the European Open, which is what we're trading today, to the US close, please be advised that the signals work really, really well, but the market moves significantly faster, greater risk, greater potential reward. So I would prefer as you become a specialist in one trading session. That would be my recommendation for everybody. Now, guys, as a team, I should say, of seasoned specialists, as most important thing, we're going to go for profit first, education second. A lot of the traders have been with me now for more than 12 years. As a result, you might see some pretty big profit being put into the chat log. Just as if anything, don't be annoyed by that, be inspired by it. There was a couple of traders last night. We may have one of those traders with us. Some of the traders last night did more than $13,000 profit on the signals called in the live trading room. So $13,000 for a day's work or 90 minutes worth of work is kind of good fun. Right? So again, you might see some of these traders sort of wandering in and out of the LTR. Congratulations to the Newcastle-based traders for a stunning session last night. Now that being said, Jeff, it's a pretty straightforward trade. The actual trader sent me the screenshot and said, check this out, 13,000. over 13,000 US, which is a good result. Guys, as I said before, everything we do is over 90% strike rate. Guys, I do put a video on YouTube, guys. So YouTube, that's Samurai Day Trading. You can go and have a look. There's about 100 now. There's about 100 videos on there. 100 short videos on there. So you can go and have a look what we do. But at the end of the day, guys, we're basically high performance traders. We use futures so the market can't be manipulated, and we do the same thing every day. Now, personal considerations. Guys, if you're brand new to trading, please just watch, listen, and learn. I'll answer questions for you in the last 15 minutes of the first hour of trading. If you are an experienced trader or you know what we do, please go crazy, guys, within your risk profile. Of course, I say that as tightly as I can. Guys, please note we're going to seek to maximize the profit on every single trade. If you are brand new to trading, guys, please understand that $100 to $200 per contract out of the European Open session is a great first target. So don't be shy to go for a 20 or 40 tick target on the NASDAQ, guys, and call it quits. I'd suggest the vast majority of traders will finish trading today in the first 35 minutes of the first hour. Okay. Now, guys, please note that if I do identify a trade, guys, it has too much risk. If I do identify a trade, it's got way too much risk for you, please don't take the trade or take the trade using a micro contract. The flip side of the micros, guys and girls, if there's a trade with more than 60 ticks of risk on the NASDAQ, I'll identify that as over the risk profile for the trading room. As FDAX, if we're more than 25 points of risk, I'll identify that for you. FDAX, as I said earlier, you are setting up the most stunning series of selling trades right now as I run through these PowerPoints. Now, guys, if you want to understand a little bit more about what we do, I've released a book in 2025 called Brokers Exposed. I've been talking about brokers, guys, and how to avoid brokers for a long time. So again, that is out there, guys, available on the website, ready to rock and roll. You know about YouTube. Guys, and if you're a fan of Instagram, our Instagram is i.love.trading because I love trading. All right, now, that being said, we have a lot to go through, guys. We have a lot to go through. Let me just roll this down for you. I'll get this up and racing. We'll do Europe in a second, guys, because Europe is ultimately going to be a very, very powerful compass as to what we're doing. So what I want to do, guys, I want to highlight for the S&P 500 straight away, your volume, guys, your volume is just under 50,000. So that's the highest volume, guys, we've had so far today. Guys, that's the highest volume we've had so far. What does that ultimately mean? I'm getting little dings on Instagram. So for those of you that have just started following me, thank you. So it's literally occurring as I talk to you. Now, guys, we've got the S&P 500 is in a very, very weak short. So the S&P is in a weak short, but the NASDAQ's in a very strong short. So what I do think today, guys, I do think we're going to get an initial sell down. I think we're going to get an initial sell down as if the NASDAQ in particular, so let me put an arrow on the chart for you here. If the NASDAQ in particular sells back down, guys, to these 60-minute, sorry, these 4-hour Fibonacci, so these green Fibonacci's on the NASDAQ are off the 4-hour chart. If we sell back down to these, guys, on the open, you've got two potential longs you can pick up. Okay, guys, you've got that -4 rated static bar reversal long. You've got this -6 rated static bar reversal long. Okay, now ultimately, guys, that -6 rated SBR, that's the one that Akito took in her trading this afternoon. She's only going for a 20 tick target, guys, or $100 US per contract. And that one's actually gone around about 60 ticks to the high side. So she's well and truly finished for the day. Now, back down to the S&P 500. Again, we've got these two tiny little dojis. The one that really draws my interest, guys and girls, is this one just here, okay? So if we are to sell down, so once again, if we sell back down on European Open, guys, and we get caught in these black Fibonacci's here, so the black Fibonacci's are off the 60-minute chart. If we are to sell down here, guys, and get under there, we're looking for long-range longs on both American markets, right? So long-range longs, short-range shorts. Now, a couple of things I do want to highlight for you guys. NASDAQ traders, you'll note here that these guys are playing with a 4-hour Fibonacci extension. So for those that are not aware of what we do, guys, the dashed Fibonacci, so these dashed Fibonacci's are Fibonacci retracements. The dotted Fibonacci's are extensions. And what I want to draw your attention to is at the moment, these guys are cruising around the 141.4 Fib extension. Okay, so what that ultimately means is these guys, let me just have a look Fibonacci-wise, 141.4. Okay, where's my next one? S2. Okay, I'm going to go and strip, guys, I'm going to go and strip this Fib down for you. Okay, that's our market moving at the moment. I'm chasing that black Fibonacci. Okay, we don't need the black one on today. That was from yesterday. So what we're ultimately looking for, guys, I would suggest this is your 15-minute chart. I'd suggest these guys are going to sell down. They may actually fail. And if they fail really, really nicely, we're going to pick up a really lovely 15-minute chart long, 30-minute chart, potentially a 60-minute chart long as well. So if we can pick up as one of these, if we can pick up one of these trades, guys, very, very early in the session, we're highly likely to get a really good move, guys, a really good move to the high side. No question about that at all. Okay, now the flip side of that, guys, Europe's a lot more complicated. I'm just going to F5, guys. Let me just F5 that NASDAQ chart. I'm just going to reset. I'm just going to reset the data on that one, which is Dante. How are you? Hope you're well. I'm just going to grab another microphone. So again, we've got a full complement of trading team in the background. Now, what I'm looking for, ladies and gents, Europe. So Europe's going to be a lot more complicated today, but it's going to weigh in on everybody, which I think is really, really exciting. Okay, so first things first, First things first, guys, FESX down the bottom. If we sell down to 5445, guys, we're going to see a large amount of panic coming into the European market. It's going to drag everybody to the downside. Okay, so it's going to be very, very impressive. At the moment, the European traders have got a gap to close. So mathematically, these guys must go down first before they go up. These are the shorts that I was talking about. Oh, sorry, I just moved that Fibonacci. Let me move it back for you there. These are the shorts that I was talking about, guys, on the FDAX, right? You guys are setting up incredible shorts inside the pre-market. Those shorts are actually moving through their profit targets already. So guys, this is what I mean by quite a volatile day today. I think it's going to be good fun. Okay, now, guys, as we came into the session, S&P volume was 45,000. It's now just under 50,000. Please be aware, guys, that we had a very large sell down on the European market yesterday. That would normally suggest they're going to turn around and go back the other way, and they're going to do so quite aggressively. Okay, quite aggressively. Now, guys, last night in coaching, we were talking about swing triggers and static bar reversals and similar things. I said in coaching last night, guys, the FDAX was highly likely to sell down to its S6. Well, it sold down to its S6 last night. Dashes, so Mark, other way around, dots are extensions and dashes are retracements. So Diane, can you remember in coaching last night, we said if we break this level, we're going to sell down to the S6. Well, the FDAX sold down to the S6. Guys, to quantify that, Diane, it moved more than 500 points. So from when we were coaching last night, it moved more than 500 points to the downside. So therefore, that was kind of good fun. Now, guys, now 10:30 p.m. Tokyo time tonight, we do have high impact US news. So if you are trading in the US pre-market, do be a little bit careful with that one. Now, for the FDAX traders, guys, for the European-based traders, again, we're setting up absolutely wonderful selling signals. So if the buyers do show, guys, I see those tiny little candles in there. Let me just grab the right thing for you. We've got this beautiful static bar reversal short. Can everybody see this -4 rated static bar reversal short? Happens to correspond to the 161.8 fib extension perfectly. And you've actually got delta trades over here on the left-hand side that correspond, on the right-hand side, I should say, correspond to that static bar reversal, right? So my first I'm looking for, guys, on the FDAX is a sell down. If we push back up, nice. If we push back up, we've got some really, FDAX is famous for going down if it fails at the 161. Guys, they're famous for dropping all the way down to the 100. Okay, now that FDAX traders, and again, the entry is not now, guys. The entry is after the market opens. Guys, we've got two short set. All right, let me jump on the camera. Okay, I'll turn that off, guys and girls, just because the information on the charts is more important than you guys looking at Lockie, if that's okay. Now, down to the bottom, guys, down to the bottom. Okay, a bit more information on the FDAX for you. As I said to you guys, the trading conditions are exactly the opposite to what they were yesterday. So yesterday we're looking for long range shorts and long range shorts and short range longs, guys. It's exactly the opposite today. If the FDAX does sell down to 491, I'll leave this price marker on for you. If we sell down to 491, it's an amazing buying signal. Now, please be advised, 530, guys, is also a 60-minute long. 556 is a 4-hour short. So these guys are very, very confused as to what they're going to do with the sell down from yesterday. The sell down was basically triggered, guys, by European panic over the fact that they're, how do I put it really carefully here? They're going to have to increase their defense budgets enormously, guys, enormously. So it'll be interesting to see what they can come up with. Now, For those that are not used to what we do, right, not used to what we do, we have a propensity on the FDAX to go to the 4 hour. It loves going to the 4 hour 50 fib. Right now, again, following conventional Fibonacci, we're going to be drawing our Fibonacci down in order to catch them on the way up. So if the FDAX is behaving normally, what it is likely to do, guys, it's likely to sell down a little bit first, try and close the gap. If it can't close the gap, guys, it's going to push up to the 50 fib, guys, on the 4 hour chart, which is 715, right? 715. That is all the way up here. That would be, where are we trading right now? 590. So it's more than 120 points above where we are right now. So if the buyers want to avenge the sellers from yesterday, guys, they're going to do it really, really aggressively. There's no question about that. If we don't get that revenge, guys, if we don't get that revenge early, guys, if we don't get the revenge early, they're likely to sell down first, come down, close the gap, turn around and go back the other way. Now, with around about 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go, guys, let me go down to the big ones. Okay, so down on the monthly chart at this point in time, there's no additional information we can gain on the monthly chart from what we've been doing all week, as other than the FESX is failing at the monthly 141.4, which is exactly where we would expect it to fail. All right, dropping down to the weekly chart, as we said that we were going to get 3 strong weeks of buying and then they're going to fail. Well, they're currently in the middle of the failure candle, right? So we're getting this really, really, really right, which is good fun. Drop down to the daily chart, guys. This is the danger candle, right? This little one right here. So if the FESX pushes up and can't do a very good job of pushing up, we're looking at really, really lovely shorts. As that's why the FDAX traders are looking at these incredible shorts on the FDAX, as provided they trigger inside the cash market. Down to the 4 hour chart, guys, we've got to be very, very aware that you guys have opened in a 4 hour reversal long. What may occur is the FESX may have to sell down first, consolidate that reversal before going long. So at this stage, guys, we're looking for, on FDAX as we open, guys, we're looking for a really lovely selling trade. If the selling can't literally take control of the market globally, then we're switching our mentality for long range longs. Okay, so exactly the opposite to what we did yesterday. Down to the 60-minute chart, guys, at the moment, the buyers are failing badly. Badly is the only way I can put it on the 60-minute chart. I note with the FESX, guys, if we take note of where they're failing, it's a really quite important point. Okay, so where they're currently failing is the 200% extension off the 4 hour chart. That means that the European traders think they're in a 4 hour chart. That means the 4 hour fibs are going to win the day. And hey, presto, we're in a 4 hour long that looks to be failing. So today is all about, guys, all about 4 hour fibs. Down to the 60-minute chart, guys, multiple reversals long are not holding. So therefore, we're looking for a potential short. Down to the 15-minute charts with 2 minutes to go. Looks like we're going to try, guys. The Europeans will typically try a swing trigger to the high side first, which may fail. And then again, we'll let their psychology, kind of govern what we're doing. Speaking of that, though, reflecting across here, buyers own the stair step on the FDAX. As buyers own the stair step on the FDAX. Buyers own the stair step on NASDAQ, but they're about to lose it. And sellers own the stair step on the S&P 500. So that means that, guys, for the S&P traders, if we sell down on open and fail, you guys are looking for longs. NASDAQ, we need to sell down first, steal the stair step before we go long. FDAX, you're looking for the buyers to push up. You're looking for a climactic candle. So guys and girls, we're looking for the actual candle to change its color. Now that color is actually going to tell us whether the market is failing in a certain area, and then we're going to look to take advantage of that. Okay, down to the 5-minute chart. Let me grab a sip of water. I'll grab a sip of water. I've got a bit of an internet wigging out on me, guys. I'm just going to potentially transition an internet connection. I'll let the market open first. I'll let the market open first, and then I might look at a transition. If the internet, can you guys tell me, is the internet okay, or is it mucking around a little bit? It should be good. It should be really good. Now we've got 45 seconds, guys. 45 seconds until the market. Okay, it's good now. Yeah, the camera kind of wigs it out. All right, that's perfect. So at this point in time, guys, yeah, perfect. So at this point in time, as the FTX traders, we're looking for the buyers to push up. We're looking for the buyers to push up. Now, don't be surprised, guys, as I said to Arlen, guys, as we came in, these guys are crazy today. They're a little bit crazy. So what we're looking for, guys, don't go early, is I'm looking to sell the FTX, guys, once they push up. I want to sell the FTX at 591, right? Now, we're going to wait for these guys to push up first. Okay, you can see them getting a little bit crazy. All right, so for the DAXI traders at the moment, the buyers own the step. So we're looking for a sell. It is highly likely these guys are going to sell down relatively early. Now, we do need to get well above, guys, well above 592 before we sell at 591. Okay, so well above. I'm just putting sell orders on myself, guys, in the background to see if I can pick up exactly the trade I'm talking about. Now, at this stage, I want the opening candle here. There's the climactic candle. So we're now confirming, guys, an entry short. I'm just looking at what they're doing. We're confirming an entry short, guys, at 9-1. If you can get a short, guys, depending on how you trade the market, if you can get a short at 9-1, guys, depending on how you trade, short if at 9-1, your first target, guys, your first target is 8-6. So I'll just do this as best as I can. I've got that trade in the background. So again, guys, you're looking for, right, 8-6, your first target is out. So for the FTX traders, if you are able to go short, guys, at 9-1, your first target is 8-6 and you're out. Your second target is 8-1 and you're out. Your third target is 7-6 and you're on target. So just wait for that target to be hit. Right, you've been kissed. Come on, smash it. Your third target's out. Fourth target, guys, is 7-1 for the experienced traders. So you're out at 5, 10, 15, and 20. You've got no risk on that short trade. Dan, well done. Beautiful trade. All right, now I've picked that trade up myself in the background as well. Christian, 5 and 15, stunning entry. So what did we do, guys and girls? We waited for the candle to turn extreme volume. Diane, beautiful trade. We waited for the buyers to push up. We waited for the extreme volume alert to go off. And only once the extreme volume alert went off did we sell the market, and everybody's been paid. Exactly the same drill as yesterday, guys. Very, very, very boring, very profitable. Now, for the long range traders, the Codys of the world, if you guys are short, codes like yesterday, mate, you might target up to a 50-point long-range target if you are short. All right, so junior traders short for 5, intermediates 5 and 10, slightly more 5, 10, 15, bigger traders 5, 10, 20, or those people that go for big targets, just go nuts. Literally go nuts. That trade, guys, that trade is done and dusted, right? That's finished now. So again, we'll just let the opening candle cruise down. No new trades, guys. No new trades for anybody once we're into the last 90 seconds. If you, Paul, you're done for the day, mate. Beautiful trade. Petros, thank you. I appreciate that. Guys, we only need 5 to 10 points a day on the FTX to retire, and that trade is already around 35 points in the profit, right? So anybody that took that trade, if you got in where I told you to get in, guys, as per the static bar reversal strategy, which is right there, if you got in there, guys, you are in a great place. Mark, well done. Took the SBR pre-market. Okay, mate. Okay. Yes. Stair stepping is critically important. Now, for those Nasdaqers, S&P 500 traders, so for the S&P traders, you guys have picked up this lower static bar reversal long, ultimately because the sellers own the stair step, you're allowed to buy. Guys, your buy point, guys, is 43.25. Your first target is 44.25. Guys, your second target is 44.75. Now, the experienced S&P 500 traders know that. Right, so if you're long, Nathan, well, Nathan's still short on the FTX. Well done. So no new trades, guys, no new trades. I would suggest the NASDAQ is about to swing short here, right? So I don't think the NASDAQ traders, because the buyers own the stair step, guys, your buying base reversals are going to be weak. Obviously, S&P 500 sellers own the step. Your reversal is going to be more fun. Now, FDAX, we're going to pick up FDAX. We're going to pick up a potential trade. You're going to have to be very, very careful with these guys. Nathan, your long range short, because you failed at the 161.8, mate, I want you to try and target the 100% fib extension plus some loose change. Now, you know how to do this, mate, but your target for the long range FDAX traders, maybe 43 or 44. So 43 or 44. So 43 or 44, what does that mean? Again, guys, if you are short, long-range targets on FDAX, guys, if you want to use Fibonacci, your entry's up here. Your target's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. It's a 50-point trade, so 2,000 Aussie dollars per contract, please, or around about 1,250 US dollars, and you guys are about to smash that target. In fact, you have smashed the target. So if you guys are short for long-range targets, Cody, for 50, guys, it's just gone through a 50-point target, which is absolutely hilarious. So, well done if you're still short. Now, what have we got, guys? What have we got? For the FDAX traders, okay, we're now picking up a reversal long. I've got nothing new on S&P or NASDAQ. Now, for the 76 fib reversal traders on FDAX, I'm going to draw the Fibonacci up to catch them on the way down. Okay, interesting point. That green delta V2, guys, over there on the left-hand side, I think that's the one that young Paul was talking about. Guys, again, long story short, if these guys sell down to the pivot and the 76ers and fail, not only is that an incredible target for Nathan and Cody, guys, incredible target. So Nathan, you got 6, 12, 21, and 51, stunning trade. Guys, because we're picking up a 76 fib reversal long on FDAX and the FESX is building off its 50 fib, then again, if you waited for these guys to hit the 76ers and you've gone long, guys, not a bad.
It's also 133, Lockie.
Thank you, mate. It's also the 133 fib extension. So, wow. Okay, now S&P 500 traders such as Greg, the really experienced traders, you guys are long. Louis, you're long and you're holding long. For the junior traders, you can be long on S&P. We're just waiting, guys. We're waiting for the NASDAQ to line up. Okay, when it lines up, it's going to be quite good fun. Guys, that Delta V2, guys, there's a green Delta V2 on the FDAX there at 22555. That's the one I spoke about earlier. If you are going to go long, guys, your first target, if you're long at 555, your first target is 560. Now, you're not going to be able to hold that long for very long because you guys are trading back towards the 50 fib of the day. So again, if you have taken that, you waited for these guys to sell down and then you grabbed it, absolutely brilliant. I'm anticipating, guys, that the buyers on NASDAQ are going to fail badly. Now, interesting point, guys, interesting point. Buyers own the step. You guys are looking for Fibonacci reversals coming back down. Okay, now, what it ultimately means, if the NASDAQ was to gift us a push, guys, a push to those 76 fibs there, okay, we'll be targeting, see this minus 11 rated static bar reversal short. Okay, that's the entry we're targeting short, guys, at 157.50. All right, 157.50. Now, this will be based on the buyers running out of steam on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. So for those that are long on S&P, you want to make sure you've locked in a good amount of profit, certainly no risk on that one. For the FDAX traders, we're selling down to those 76ers in the open again. What we would need to do now is we need to push down, create an even lower low, turn around, and then come back the other way. So no new trades, guys, in the last 90 seconds of the candle. NASDAQ, you're keeping a very close eye on a short at 157.50. So it's a sell signal at 157.50. We are looking to the S&P 500. Guys, if we get a really strong buying candle, so no entry, guys, on the NASDAQ currently, we've got to wait 1 minute and 1 second to get that entry. If we get a really strong buying candle on S&P, we're not going to sell the NASDAQ, right? If we get a weak buying candle on the S&P, or a non-event candle, then the short on NASDAQ at 157.50 is brilliant. Your risk control point, guys, is going to be around about 10 to 12 ticks. So around about 10 to 12 ticks. And again, we're just waiting for this clock to count down to get an idea of what Europe wants to do. If for the European-based traders, if the sellers, so in 24 seconds from now, if the sellers sell below the open and the 76s, we clearly can't go long over the top of those. So you guys are eyeing off a pre-market box reversal. So what we're looking for is a sell down. Guys, a sell down, tag at the pre-market box and come back the other way. I note that FESX wants to buy. FDAX is trying to sell. FDAX is going to lose that battle. Okay, NASDAQ traders, guys. So we've got a very, very sort of non-event candle lies there on the S&P 500, a bit of a non-event candle. So long story short, okay, it's happening real fast. If the buyers push up here, guys, if the buyers push up here on NASDAQ and fail, then again, we're looking for a short at 157.50 with a risk control point. I'll just put it on the chart for you now. So this is our risk control point. Now, again, basically, guys, it's a swing trigger style signal. It's a swing to the downside. As for the FDAX traders, what's occurred is these guys have pushed down through the pre-market box, turned back around, picked up your order long at 520 and gone through the first target already. Now, because we've just traded outside that Fibonacci range, guys, the next Fibonacci is going to be the gap 76. Okay, so these guys are actually dancing around long range longs, guys. Long range longs. Okay, now, interesting point for the Nazi, guys, we're pushing away from that selling point that we want to grab. Okay, so we're just wanting to see what they're doing. If the FDAX traders are long, guys, over the top of the pre-bottom, so you waited for them to sell down to the pre-bottom and failed, you would have gone long anywhere between 520, 521, 522. As worst case scenario, you've gone long at 522. Your first target is 527. That's out. Your second target is 32. You're out. Your third target, you're out. As that probably won't get to a fourth target, right? So if you have gone long, guys, off the pre-market box, it's at least a 5, a 10, and a 15. Okay, if that is your trading style. Now, NASDAQ, guys, we waited for the candle to close. We need the buyers to push up. Okay, now they're slowly pushing away from the sell at 157.50. It gives us a couple of choices. Guys, it might mean, okay, Nathan, well done. Diane, beautiful trade, +10 on the FDAX. Diane, well done. You're getting your mojo on that FDAX. That is fantastic. So, guys, we're pulling away from the selling point, which is exciting because it means that we're going to potentially pick up a higher sell point, lower risk, far higher potential. What we're looking to do is govern ultimately what are the S&P 500 traders doing? They failed to close outside the range of the previous candle. The buyers are quite strong, but then the S&P 500 gapped down and said, you know what? We've got nothing left. Hence the reason we're looking for a short. Mind you, we do have our more experienced traders, guys, on the S&P 500 are long on this signal here. So if you guys are long at 43.25, okay, your first target is 44.25. Second target, guys, is either 6 or 8 ticks, and then we're looking for 12 ticks, then we're looking for 16 ticks, and we just let it go. Thanks, Lucky. Have an early night. Yeah, Petros, you've nailed your profit targets, right? So you are completely done. Now, NASDAQ traders, buyers own the stair step. So we're looking for selling-based reversals. Now, you guys can see that they're cruising into these 76 Fibonacci's. Some of you love to sell underneath the 76 Fibs, right? So if that is your trading style, guys, the buyers have pushed through to the 90s. It looks like they're failing at the 90s. As that means you will be hunting for a 76 Fib reversal short. Now, we are into the last 90 seconds, so the careful traders are going to sit back and say, you know what, Lockie, I'll wait for the turn of the candle in order to get my trade. There is a backup Fibonacci that runs from the high to the low. Now, that being said, it looks like the more local Fibonacci, guys, that might be playing the game here. So again, guys, just to run you through the numbers, if you are short underneath those 76s, right, your short will be on the market at 64.75. Guys, your first target will be 62.25, which is a 10-tick first target and risk control point. So if you are a 76 fib reversal trader, guys, if that is you, then you're looking to control your risk. Guys, I'll bring the risk control point up. You're looking to control your risk at that line, guys, and then obviously let your profit run if you're in a longer range short. Now, the junior traders are waiting for the candle to close. They're waiting for a static entry. FDAX, guys, so again, pre-market box reversals going very well. We're not going to take another trade, guys. We won't take another trade on the FDAX until we've got a brand new candle. Guys, now, again, the next trade, guys, the next trade on the FDAX. Okay, next trade on the FDAX is going to be, guys, a tag of the gap. So if these guys sell down to the gap, guys, if they sell under the gap, then turn around and then come back through. You guys are looking to enter as high as 501. We must sell under 501 to enter at 501. Guys, with the same standard 5, 10, 15 and whatever you can get your hands on. So FDAX traders, watch very, very closely. Okay, we must sell under the gap in order to pick up the long. Okay, so just keep an eye on that. Worst case scenario, guys, you're going to get filled 4 points over the gap, but they must come to the gap first. Okay, they must come to the gap first. Now, those that are short under the 76s, guys, if you waited for the candle to close on NASDAQ, you waited for the buyers to push up and pick up your order. Guys, they've just gone through your 10-tick risk control point. They've gone actually 20 ticks to the downside. So everybody should be out of that NASDAQ trade. Everyone should be out of the NASDAQ trade, depending on how you enter and exit. Okay, Mark, that's okay. That's all right. Now, again, I think the sellers are going to come again on the NASDAQ, guys. So we're not going to re-enter the same trade again. So if you have traded the 76 Fibonacci's, as you may have only just been picked up when the buyers push through. Once again, your risk control point, guys, is 10 ticks into the trade. Guys, if you want to be careful, just use a 10-tick first target with an ATM that automatically rolls your stop place. You stop in so you can't lose any money. Keith, you picked up a plus 20. Well done. For those that waited for the second tag of the 76s and you've gone short, you're 1 tick off your risk control point and first target. Guys, that's 2 selling campaigns. We normally only get 3 on the NASDAQ. We normally only get 3. NASDAQ is watching Europe very, very closely. Guys, literally. Now, we are setting up, guys, reversals long on the FDAX. We didn't get as low as what we wanted. Guys, we didn't get as low as what we wanted. That's okay. We're waiting for this candle to close. NASDAQ, you just went through your risk control and profit target again. Okay, so please, please, please make sure you've got limited risk on that trade. FDAX, your next trade is a static bar reversal long off the pre-bottom or the gap, or we may get a push down, tag the gap, and then we're looking at the entry prices we were talking about before. Okay. Now, if you are short on the NASDAQ, guys, if you are short on the NASDAQ, some of you will be short with a 10-tick target, a 20-tick target, and a 30-tick target. Guys, if you're short, okay, at the moment, you waited for the double touch of the 76s. You've gone through 10s. You've gone through 20s. You're a whisker shy of 30. So please, please, please make sure, guys, your stop is at -1. So your risk to reward ratio is now 30 times in your favor, right? 30 times in your favor. And people get excited about 1-to-1. May I suggest that's not exciting. Am I allowed to say that? I think I am. Now, guys, again, I'm going to do a counter Fibonacci for the Nazi traders who are short. So if you guys are short, okay, we're going to push down to these 76 fibs. That puts you around about the 40 tick mark. Let's double check. 10, 20, 30, 40. It's actually a 50 tick trade. So, guys, for those that want to be a little bit careful on NASDAQ, if we get a nice little sell down here, your target is going to be 53 even. So your target's 53 even. You've cut all the risk off on your trade, so you can't lose any money. Louis Brown plus 30 times 7 on NQ. That's a beautiful trade. I took my eye off the FDAX for a moment. Guys, again, we're tickling with that 76 fib, which is a little bit annoying. That said, guys, everyone that's short on the NASDAQ, you've gone through a 10-tick target, a 20-tick target. You've gone to a 30-tick target. No one's carrying any risk, please. All right, no risk. FDAX, you are setting up a dynamite reversal long. We've just got to wait for this candle to close. All right, sellers have run out of steam, guys. So well done. If you've taken the targets off and your profits controlled, this is why we use risk control points. Okay, so again, that has gone relatively well. I'm just going to put a circle on the chart. All right, so let me just borrow this one. Okay, so once again, the evil twins have helped us out enormously. The 15-minute charts, guys, at this stage look like they want to go long again. Can we go long on the FTX if we close above the pre-bottom? Yes. Yes, we can. That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah, Delta, mate, I've got my delta indicator currently calculating. So again, that is an internet issue. So literally coming into the charts tonight, FTX is obviously firing. NASDAQ, I need to do some work on that one. What I might do is I'll just go and reset that delta indicator. Okay, because the delta makes our job really, really simple. So I'm going to strip the indicator down, guys, to show minimum data. And I trust that is actually going to bring my delta online. All right, now for the FTX traders, we have closed underneath the pre-bottom, so we cannot go long. We're not allowed to. All right, NASDAQ traders, to go short again, you need another higher high, which you don't have. Okay, so at this point in time, we can strip a bit of info. What they're doing, guys, again, evil twins, they love it. NASDAQ loves the twins. So again, we've bought up, failed at the 90, reinforced by the 70s. They've come back through, failed there again, given everybody a winning trade. They've pushed back up, failed at the same level again. For the junior traders, I want to see a higher high. That V2 delta, guys, on FTX, if you're a V2 delta trader, there's an entry long at 527. Pros and cons, assuming you close over a pivot. That's the bad one. The good one is the FESX agrees with your trade. So if you are going to go long, guys, at 527 on FTX, so 527, your first target is 532. Okay, so if you're going to go long at 27, your target is 32. You're probably going to creep towards that target really quite easily. That is if you're a Delta V2, that's the green diamond, guys, that's just popped up on that chart for us. NASDAQ, I want a higher high before I send you short again. S&P 500, everyone's controlled their risk. FTX, sweetheart, you are... All right, so we're starting to paint additional deltas up there. So really, really careful traders on FTX. We're assuming a close over a pivot. Okay, so again, the FESX wants to push the FTX up. That's lovely. Assuming a close over a pivot, you know, really, really careful traders. We're going to wait to close over the pivot. It's 2 minutes and 47 seconds away. We're going to wait to close over and then take the trade. Mind you, if we close over the pre-bottom, the static bar reversal, that -6, right? So we've got a -6 rated signal here. That's a very, very powerful signal. I'd suggest, guys, the trade of the day on the FTX. We've had a good run on the FTX so far. The trade of the day, if the sellers were to sell down, tag the gap, and then come back through, we're going to end up with an absolutely incredible reversal. Okay. NASDAQ, just guys, as we navigate through the session, if you've already traded, guys, if you've already traded and you're at your daily goal, please don't let me romance you into taking another trade. So we've got daily goals, guys, anywhere from $100 US out to $1,000 US per day. So depending on what your goal is, guys, once you've hit your goal, please stick to it. Okay, FTX, guys, we're going to cruise down and close the gap. All right, so we're looking for a gap-based reversal. Okay, gap-based reversal is here. Remy, you're over KPI already, so well done. So guys, if we do push down here, so if the FTX does push down here and tag the gap, so we've literally got to, we can go within 1 point of the gap, so 498 for a technical close. If we touch 498, where is the gap? 97. You guys can go long as high as 501 once we tag the gap. Okay, we must tag the gap first, then we're looking for a long at 501. Okay, now, NASDAQ, you haven't got a higher high yet, so we can't go off those 76s again. We're just waiting for them to come to us. All right, so everybody so far, S&P 500 traders are in profit. FTX traders, should be brilliant. In fact, some of you have already finished. Some of the NASDAQ traders have already finished. And so far, guys, we've got quite a consolidated session. That means they're waiting for something. I would suggest they're waiting for the Europeans to work together. At the moment, they're fighting with each other. As what do I mean by that? The FTX is just above the gap, right? The FESX has got to go all the way down here to close its gap. So at the moment, we've got the Europeans disagreeing with each other, which, again, until they're in synergy, we've just got to be very, very careful. Okay, guys, just be very, very careful. But that's okay. We've got a very, very strict set of rules. We know exactly what we're doing. There's no surprises here. Okay, now, guys, if the FTX closes back over its pre-bottom, which it has just done, okay, if it closes over the pre-bottom, as what we need, because they've gapped onto the pivot, okay, we need the sellers to sell down first, and that little buying delta there at 521, guys, is in cahoots with the static bar reversal. So if you do want to go long, guys, on the FTX, right, there is a delta long at 521. The first target is 526. All right, you're at 525 already. You've just tagged 526. As what we're doing is we're picking up that static bar reversal, but we're picking up the delta that is adjacent to that little static bar. Now, the deal with that, guys, is because we've gapped down onto the pivot. Okay, so we go down onto the pivot. These guys don't know what side of the pivot they're going to muck around on. So they must sell down first, like we've just done. Louis, nice work. They must sell down first, guys, before you're buying the market. Guys, if you're looking for a really long range target to the high side, guys, we need the buyers to get back over the pre-bottom, close inside the pre-bottom, and stay inside the pre-bottom, and then we're off and racing. Now, sellers have sold back down again. Guys, sellers have sold back down again. So that means we might be looking for a re-entry long, guys, at that delta at 521. Okay, so just let them sell down. If they do come down and tag the gap on FTX, guys, we're looking for that gap trade. Okay, so these sellers are running out of steam pretty convincingly on FTX now. So, guys, it's going to reload the same trade again at 521 for 526. NASDAQ, guys, we've moved beyond the 76 fibs, so we can no longer short underneath them. So I'm very, very glad we waited for, hey presto, a higher high. Okay, now FTX, I'm just taking my eye off you for a moment. If you've gone long at 521, guys, your first target and risk control point is 526. Okay, come on, off you go, please. Just go through 526, so I know that everybody, boom, everyone's through 526. Guys, if you waited for the sell down and you went long again, you've picked up your entry at 521. First target and risk control 526. You guys have been paid again. So the FTX is now starting to get a little bit boring, guys, but at the same time, it's profitable, which is awesome. Now, NASDAQ traders. NASDAQ traders, your next trade. We have a look. You guys are in 30-minute chart static bar reversals long, but you guys are blowing up your volume. You're blowing up your volume badly. Nathan, 612, 21, 55, 612, 1, 612, 1, 1, 1. That's a solid day, mate. That's brilliant, mate, is all I can say. You've got this FTX. You've got this FTX properly sussed out. I mean, that's brilliant. Okay. Now, NASDAQ traders, let's watch the time countdown. It's a huge result, guys. If you want to add up all of those numbers, you add up all of those numbers and do times 25 US dollars or 40 Aussie dollars, that actually works out as a pretty reasonable hour at the charts. Now, do I have any FTX traders who are long for long range targets? It's because, again, you've got a reversal off a pivot. They went through the first target first, went back down, created a low, came back through, picked you up, and off it goes. Kay, well done. Well done. So you've picked up the Delta V2 on NQ. I'm just trying to load my Deltas. I might actually have to turn my data off and restart, which we won't be doing now. We can do it inside the, guys, we'll do it inside the last 15 minutes. Okay, so the V2 deltas, guys, V2 deltas on FTX, Eyes those V2s, okay, those green diamonds going absolutely brilliant. So anybody that's entered, you've gone way beyond your profit targets, which is well done. Now, my NASDAQ Delta, guys, normally would be firing at this point in time. I've got a calculating issue, so I've had the internet drop out right when it was calculating my indicators for me. That's okay. We'll just trade pure price movement. Christine, you're done for the day. Well done. That's absolutely brilliant. Kate, Christina, okay, plus 20 on the SBR.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, I'm back, guys. So something went wrong there. That's okay, guys. My little Zoom is misbehaving at the moment. Okay, so that might be the issue. Just hold on. I'm going to switch to a let me switch to a backup internet. Hold on one tick. So guys, again, if you get a retracement there on the FDAX, we're looking for a long. You want a relatively shallow retrace. Just hold on 1 second for me. Hold on 1 sec. All right, guys and girls, I'm back. I'm back. So where are we at? We are currently just on 35 minutes into the session. Guys, I've just gone to a backup internet, which is really strong. So again, if it's an internet issue, all of this will fix itself quickly. For the FDAX traders, if you are long at 560, guys, on that Delta V2, your first target is 565. Your first target is 565, and you're already out. Okay, you're already out of the trade. Thank you. Now, that being said, good guys, good results everywhere. Good results everywhere, which I think is really exciting. Now, for the NASDAQ traders, as we're waiting for a static bar reversal short off the 76 fibs. FDAX, you've gone through your first target and risk control point. Okay, so just be careful with that one. As we roll towards the sort of the 35, 40 minute mark, the FDAX might slow right down. So again, as if you've done really well, as if you've done really well in the first part of the session, that first 35 minutes, then you should be in a really good place. Shelton, your KPI is done. Okay, KPI is done, which is fantastic. So don't let me romance you, Shelton, into taking any more trades. Now, guys, as we belt through it, let's see. Volume is still good everywhere. So we've got good volume. We've got good volatility. Shelton going for dinner. Well done, mate. That's exactly what I would be doing if I wasn't on the other side of the mic. NASDAQ traders, we're gearing up for a short. Okay, we're gearing up for a short. What we want, guys, is we want the current candle on the NASDAQ. Okay, we want them to close underneath those 76 fibs. Okay, want to close underneath the 76 fibs. I don't want them closing above. I don't want them closing in the middle. I don't want them doing anything along those lines. What we then want to do is we want the green team to show on the next candle very, very briefly. And we're looking for a sell once the green team shows at 174.75. All right, so again, all those caveats in place. I haven't seen the green team yet. All right, so NASDAQ traders, I need a little bit of green first. Now I've got the green. Now my order goes on at 174.75. FDAX, if you were to get a lower low, so if the sellers do push back through, if the sellers push back through the 50 fib, you may be looking to take another trade. NASDAQ traders, if you have been engaged in your short, which you have been engaged in the short, only for those people that need another trade, it's only for those that need another trade, your sell down, your risk control point, firstly, your risk control point will be here. So again, only for those people that are not over their daily goal, because the last thing you want to do is go over your daily goal and then go and give some money back. It's a valid trade. There's no question about that. I've got the S&P 500 pushing back down into a previous weekly high, as it has actually danced around that all day. So that shouldn't be an issue. So for the NASDAQ traders, confirming your first target and risk control point is 72.50. Okay, so you're just sort of slowly creeping down towards that. Sellers are very strong at the moment. I do need them to go through 72.50. Come on, NASDAQ, Sweet Pea, off you go, don't. S&P's about to trigger the same signal. Okay, off you go. Quick, quick, quick. Okay, do not get stuck. If we sell back down to the same level again on NASDAQ, so that's the second sell campaign, we normally get 3. If we sell back down to the same level again, guys, we're going to cut our risk off on the NASDAQ trade. So let me watch this very, very closely for you. Fibonacci says we've got no issue. The only concern is I'm watching this S&P 500 down here. Wait one. So we're just watching, guys, for this previous weekly high on S&P. Normally, the NASDAQ will sell down 3 times. We've had 2 sell downs. Okay, we haven't quite had the 3rd sell down yet. FDAX, you are looking for 1 more long. Okay, now that long will be 2 points over the top of the 50 Fibonacci. Again, that's at an entry point of 56, target 61. That's if you trade off 50 fibs. That's if you trade off 50 fibs. And my focus is very, very heavily on this NASDAQ. Okay, so FDAXs, guys, if you're long at 56, your target is 61. The FESX agrees with that trade. Go on, FDAX, go through 61, please, so I can focus on the NASDAQ. Nazi, I want another sell down here, guys. Otherwise, we're going to start reducing the risk on the trade. What we've actually got is the S&P getting caught at that previous weekly high. So that's actually what's going on. Now, we've got a ratio-based SBR. We don't want to be in trades, guys, in the last 15 minutes of the hour, because that's where these guys go a little bit, unpredictable. Okay, FDAX is slowing down, nice. So we might be done on the FDAX for today at this stage. Okay, the long to 561 is looking very good at this point in time. Okay, I want a 3rd sell down on NASDAQ. I'm trying to watch both at the same time. Okay, so you've been ATM'd on your second target. Okay, mate, that's fine. So NASDAQ, at this point in time, we're okay with what's going on. Okay, we're okay with what's going on. Again, we're going to start to reduce our risk on the NASDAQ. I'm giving them as much time as I possibly can. It's that pink weekly previous level on S&P 500, guys, that might be creating a bit of havoc here. That's okay. We're looking for a third sell down. All right, we haven't had the third sell down yet. Okay, just watching Europe, seeing what Europe's doing. Europe is actually going to close, guys. FESX might close inside its previous pivot. Let's just see what these guys do. Okay, what have I got? S&P, relatively strong selling candle on S&P. Okay, so at this stage, NASDAQ is, we can't go long, we can only go short. Okay, so we can't go long, we can only go short. FDAX, if your volume, guys, keeps reducing, we're going to not trade the FDAX anymore. For the NASDAQ traders, guys, if we get back to entry, guys, so entry point is 74.75, we want the sellers to basically move down to our entry point so we can start to move our risk down. Some of you have already been ATM'd out of this trade. I'm giving them one more push down, guys. Normally we get 3 selling pushes, so you guys are beyond your entry point now. If we do get down to the bottom of the previous candle, guys, we're going to bring our stop losses to break even. These guys should mathematically push down a little bit further. So if we get one more little selling show, guys, we're going to reduce our risk on the NASDAQ as tight as we possibly can. Okay, so again, we're just watching what they do because we don't want to get caught on the wrong side of the NASDAQ. S&P is trying to help here, guys and girls. So what I would do on NASDAQ, please, I would now neutralize my risk on the trade. So you've got absolutely no risk. Or if you're cheeky, you might bring your target up and take 2 or 3 ticks off the market. If you're slightly more experienced, guys, you can leave your stop loss behind the candle and wait for the candle to close. That does give you around about 16 ticks market exposure. For the junior traders, is because the trade has gone a little bit too long, what I would do is just basically bring my stop loss down to break even, knock myself out, and we'll just wait for a better trade. Okay, so that's what I would personally do if I was short on the NASDAQ at that point. Okay, now for the FDAX, guys, it's going to wrap back up through their profit target. Cole, you better getting +1 than you are -20, and then we just keep going from there. Okay, -1 is fine, right? Better than -20. Absolutely. So guys, now the reason we've done that is as we wind towards the end of the hour, not only does the time expectation on the trade start to tighten, but we've got to be very, very careful we don't get green line fever. We say, no, you must go to my profit target. I'm going to ignore what you're telling me. No, it's all good. So FDAX is at this point in time, again, our volume is starting to wane out of the market, which is fine. That's what they normally do at this time. If you are long, guys, to 561, again, the trade is still looking very good. It's starting to go over time now. Starting to go over time. As in, I want to be paid on the FDAX in 3 to 4 minutes. All right. Now, towards the end of the hour, maybe 5 to 7 minutes. I'll wait for 2 or 3 pushes up here on the FDAX. I'd suggest it's probably going to try and get a wriggle to the high side. I think they may be revisiting the daily SBR reload. Cole, I think you might be on the money, mate. I think, again, for the NASDAQ, it's beautiful port of call for the turn of the hour is the 50 fib. Okay, so a really good spot for these guys to get to is the 50 fib. For everybody that has already finished trading, a big congratulations for you guys. Guys, I've had a couple of good trades here. Again, I called the first one for you. So I've been paid quite well today. Guys, Akito's been paid very well today to the point at which she's actually left the trading room altogether because she was told to. And guys, and I'm not being rude. Guys, one of the biggest mistakes traders make globally, guys, is they hit their daily goal of $200 or $300 and they go, oh, you know what? Just one more trade. Just one more trade. It's almost like it becomes a poker machine. Got to be very, very careful with that, guys. $300, today will be $3,000 in 9 months' time. Yeah, Cole, exactly right. Exactly right. Now, what I can do, guys and girls, in fact, what I might do at the 15-minute mark, which is only about 50 seconds away, I'll disconnect and reconnect my Ninja data. Okay, so I'll get a fresh set of data in, brings all my deltas online, and then we can go from there. If you've got any questions at all, guys, about anything that we've done so far, we've got around, or we had 72 people, guys, in the session with us, again, which is obviously a very, very solid number. If you guys have got any questions at all, now is a very, very good time to ask. I'm going to do a quick data reset. I'm going to do so. There'll be no new signals at this stage, guys and girls. So hold on one sec. Let me just reset my data. So again, everything will disappear, guys. All the timers will stop for a moment, and then I'll reconnect the data and everything should come back on. Are there any questions at all about anything that we've done today? Are there any trades that we've taken where you're thinking, okay, I don't understand why we did that, or I don't understand why we did that? For the FTX traders that did pick up that short initially and ran it for long range targets, a massive well done to you. For those who picked up the reversal down at the bottom of the chart on the FTX and sent it back the other way, guys, that's some big trades today on the FTX, which I think is awesome. As I wait for the NASDAQ to reset, guys, we picked up a short range trade on the NASDAQ, which was good fun. We picked up a second short range trade. The S&P 500 traders, you've picked up long range profitable trades, guys, and they've actually been really, really good fun. So far, guys and girls, so far we're doing okay. So far we're doing okay. I'm expecting a couple more trades. What's our volume? So S&P volume looks to be mid 50,000s at the moment. So we should be picking up more trades. For those that are long on the FTX, guys, to 561, I have no concern about that trade going to target. You're currently trading at 558. You're at 560. You're at 562. You've gone through the 561 target on FTX, guys, as I do a data reset. Okay, so at this point in time, if you are long on the FTX, guys, we spoke about wait for the lower low and go long over the top of the 50. Guys, at 56, if you've gone long at 56, your target is 61, currently trading at 63. You've gone through your target. I reckon for the FTX traders, guys, you might be cooked today. I only say that we are so far beyond our KPIs that I would suggest we may be happily finished, there. Now, again, guys and girls, for the NASI traders, we've obviously gone short. The market failed to respond, so we scaled out of the trade. I've got my deltas coming on. So look at this, guys. Those deltas there. Okay, those are the deltas that the other traders in the LTR were talking about. Okay, that V2 delta there is absolutely beautiful. All right, so now I've got my black diamonds on. Everything is working. Now we are going to be setting up. We are going to be setting up a reversal on the turn of the hour. Okay, it's a really, really, really good trade. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to label some of the trades that we have spoken about. So again, all of our screenshots ring true. We spoke about the static bar reversal, spoke about the reversal down here. So we're good. Today is done for me, mate. You've got a +10, a +11, a +10, a +1, and a +12. Walter, that's fantastic. Thoughts on why such a big move in one candle, asking as I only went for 5. Diane, the reason that the FTX went so far is because at exactly the 30-minute mark when these guys took off. Let me just have a quick look for you. But exactly the 30-minute mark, I'd suggest the FESX came back over. So see what's happened down here at the bottom. So the FESX was trying to sell down and hold under its 50 fib. And all the buyers have done is cruise back through and close back over the 50 fib. So again, what the sellers were doing, Diane, on FESX is they were trying to sell the market down through the trend indicator, which is a very, very bad idea. Even on the biggest market in the world, that's a bad idea. So as soon as the buyers pushed the FESX back over the 50 of the day, all the sellers went, oh shit, we're in trouble. They started buying to get out of their selling positions, and it popped it up pretty hard. Now, I've been a massive fan of watching the FESX for a long time. There are some people out there in the world that don't like looking at it. That's okay, guys and girls. It's an incredible barometer to what we do. So at the moment, the FESX has failed to hold over a pivot. So anything we can find short right across the board is going to prove to be brilliant. Yeah, Diane, it's brilliant. Adam, your KPI is smashed. Well done, but that's brilliant. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, all right. So we're in the last 15 minutes, guys. We're in the last 15 minutes. So what we're going to do is effectively just chill out and get ready for the turn of the hour. What I would love to occur is a buy back to the 50% of the day. I would love the S&P and NASDAQ to do the same thing at the same time. That would be incredible. What we can do, guys, is clean up some of our Fibonacci's. There's not a lot to be cleaned on the FDAX, right? I will get rid of that one. Okay, 5:30 is a 60-minute long. Okay. I think, Diane, what would actually draw your attention to a potentially longer range target is you've got big selling candle. So let's have a look. So again, Diane, we actually spoke about this in coaching last night, which is good fun. So you've got an efficient candle followed by a loss of efficiency, followed by a failure at the brick wall. And you've actually got that little green candle as a static bar reversal. That's an even better SPR. That's also an SPR. So you've got basically 3 SPRs that are all triggering simultaneously. Okay, so mathematically, these guys should go a long way. Mathematically, they should, and they've obviously done that. Cleaner on the 15, mate. Let me have a quick look. See, that fib failure, guys, is absolutely brilliant. So we're looking for really good shorts on the NASDAQ on the turn of the hour. What I do need at this point in time, guys, would be the S&P 500 to get underneath that pink previous weekly high. Because if these guys don't want to get under that, the NASDAQ is going to shy away from selling short, which is obviously what it was doing before. FDAX sellers own the stair step again. So we're looking for an incredible buying base reversal on the turn of the hour. So we're going to be targeting, guys, either the Delta V2 down there or the static bar reversals down the bottom. So we're looking for another crack at the FDAX if you do need another trade, but it is its best part of 8 minutes away. If I didn't have rules, guys, I'd be looking at that little -2 rated static bar reversal on NASDAQ. It's straight into the 50 fib and the micro trend. Right, so we're not going to be doing that. I would suggest what we're looking for is buyers to kind of re-show, push us up. If we tag the 50% and then fell away, guys, that would be brilliant. Cole, I'm with you. A lack of selling deltas means that the instos don't really agree with the sell down just yet. Okay, unlike the FDAX, which is giving us V2, guys, that little red diamond there, that's a V2 delta. That basically says the instos are sick of buying and they're going to be selling at that exact price. Now, we're not selling at that exact price because our rules don't allow us to do that. We're actually looking for buying signals once the hour turns. Now, that being said, Diane, one way you can also look at that FDAX trade is we're basically buying off double pivots. So you're buying off the 76 fib and also the pre-bottom. So the flip side of buying off the pre-bottom, if you're buying off double pivots, it will normally go a little bit further. Excuse me. All right, now let's have a look. So I'm just going to do a quick, always fascinated by internet speed. I'm currently running my backup internet. I'm just going to run a speed test on it while we're waiting for the turn of the hour. It's normally dynamite fast, as in amazing fast. Let's just have a look. While we're waiting. So guys, any questions at all about anything that Anything that we're doing? Hold on one tick. Okay, and we're just watching, guys. So it's very, very tempting, guys, in the last 15 minutes of the hour to take another trade. It's very, very tempting. All right, so we're not going to be doing that. Really important. Now, our trade of the day so far for YouTube, guys, again, wow, what was the easiest trade? The FTAX was so easy, it was ridiculous. I tend to do NASDAQ trades, guys, on YouTube. More than happy to do FTAX. What was the easiest trade? The easiest trade of the day was actually the S&P 500. So that was easiest. Guys, I reckon we might do FTAX today. We might do FTAX today. The opening candle was just so ridiculously easy. Now, how could we have made more money out of that opening candle is, again, as these guys start to charge and they've triggered all of our risk control, these little selling deltas here, absolutely brilliant. That is a very, very strong candle there, guys. The delta outside the range of that is absolutely incredible. Or the delta's coming back the other way. It's going to be a myriad of there's going to be a myriad of possibilities for that one. Okie doke. Now, let's just wait. Turn of the hour. So we've had some traders nail their targets and run away. And guys, that is probably the most important thing, is to make your money, leave, come back tomorrow, come do it again. Off we go again, over and over and over again. Just do the same thing, guys. It takes around about. So again, for those that don't know the numbers, guys, if you can average 20 ticks a day on the NASDAQ, which means we get the market to move that far. So if you can do that 4 days a week and you slowly work your way up to 20 contracts, particularly if you're funded, which makes it a lot easier, slowly work your way up to 20 contracts. You're looking at $1 million Aussie dollars per year, or around about 620,000 US a year. It's a really, 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 really good goal, guys. Andy, you've been in trade plus 20, plus 50, plus 80 times 3. Okay, that's a huge trade. I mean, well done. So you were long from down the bottom. You were long from down the bottom, which is exciting. Absolutely brilliant. Where Andy, where you in on the 6 p.m. turn? Sorry, mate, that's a question for Andy. Perfect. Andy may have been, guys, on that static bar reversal there. Yeah, perfect. Well done. First trade funded on Quantower plus 15 ticks, but I need to learn more. Yes, mate. I've got Quantower on one of my trading computers. It's a pretty good platform. It's slightly more technical than Ninja. Again, that's my humble opinion. It's slightly more technical. But again, there's a lot of work that's gone into that platform. There's no doubt about that. Right, so cruising through, guys, last candle of the hour on the 5-minute chart. This is the Widowmaker. This is the one that can cause significant trouble. So please don't be romanced into the market. FTAX at this stage, guys, again, the buyers now own the stair step categorically. Please note that the FESX is above its previous pivot and holding above the previous pivot for the first time. So the FTAX might try and make a run to the 50 fib on the 4-hour chart, which is all the way up here. That's a couple of 100 points to the high side. It's a couple of 100 points. So that's a long way. Okay, that's a long way. For the Americans, guys, we'll just get our Fibonacci set for what may be, guys, what may be the turn of the hour. So there's my Fibonacci there. So we've got the 90 fibs, perfect. We've got all the Fibonacci's lining up really, really well. So what I'm looking for, guys, on the turn of the hour for the Nasdaq traders, 1 minute and 20 seconds away. I want the buyers to push through these Fibonacci levels. So I want the buyers to show inside the new hour. So I want them to show inside the new hour, push up, ideally tag that 50 fib and come back down would be amazing. For the S&P 500, you guys look like you're setting up a short underneath these 76s. What I'd love for you guys is the buyers to push up, tag the previous pivot, and then come down. That'd be a lot more fun. FDAX at this stage. At this stage, we're going to flip your fibs. All right, so FDAX, buyers own the stair step. To sell the FDAX, I need the FESX back below the previous pivot, which it's currently above. So we're going to have to watch as the hour close comes in. We're at 25 seconds to go. So for the American markets, we want them to push up first and then come down. For the FDAX, again, guys, we'll be caught if the FESX stays above the previous pivot. Guys, we're going to get caught, as in we can't do anything with it. Mind you, we've had a good session today, guys. Had a good session on FDAX. Again, every FDAX trader should be handsomely over their KPI. Okay, now, all right, so I just I can't go short on FDAX, guys, because we've got the FESX disagreeing. Now, little buyers pushing up here. Come on, push, 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 push. I would love the buyers on NASDAQ, guys. If we're going to short under that 50 fib, they've got to push well beyond the 50 fib. At the moment, guys, we're setting up shorts underneath the 88.6 Fibonacci if you trade under that level. Guys, now the flip side of that, the short, guys, that is setting up, just waiting for them to blow their volume up, guys, is 185. Your risk control point is 182.5. Now, again, guys, if you wait for the buyers to push in on the turn of the hour, wait for the buyers to fail and then sell under Fibonacci. Again, guys, the entry is at 22185. Your first target and risk control point is 182.5. I would love the buying volume to increase. Oh, boom. Oh dear. Now, if you are an 88 fib trader, guys and girls, you've waited for the buyers to push up inside the new hour. You've gone short, guys, at 185. Your first target is 182.5. That target got absolutely drilled. It was absolutely drilled. Terry, nice work. Plus 12 times 5 contracts, mate. That's a great trade. That's a $300 trade. Yeah, I bet. Man, I bet you're done for the day. That's fantastic, man. Well done for you. That's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, anyone that's short, guys, under that 88.6 Fibonacci, again, 182.50, right where I've got my crosshair, that is your first target. Slightly more experienced traders, your second target, guys, is 22180. Okay, I'd suggest it's going to get pounded. 22180 is a target, an intermediate target for the slightly more intermediate traders. You just got absolutely drilled on 20 ticks. Again, this has got the potential to turn around into a 10, 20, 50 style trade. Again, if you are going to go for a slightly longer range target, guys, I want you to come down here to 172.50. Okay, so I want you to hold your short, guys, if you're being a little bit cheeky, 10, 20, 30, 40, you're holding for a 50 tick target. As the reason being is that if we get any seller attention here, they're going to smash the people that created these candles. So you guys have gone, depending on how you trade, guys, you've gone 20, a 30, you've just tagged 40s. So please make sure you've got no risk on this trade. I'd lock in at least 10 ticks worth of profit, guys, so you can't lose any money. What's the volatility? 28. It might actually struggle to get to that 50 ticks on the market. Again, 10, 20, 30, really easy to get. 10, 20, 40, not too bad. What are they mucking around with? They're mucking around with the counter 76s. NQ plus 22, plus 25 at ATM. Well done, Mark. That's a beautiful trade. Keith, well done, mate. Plus 20. Go, mate. You are getting very good at this, Keith. So we're just going to keep doing the same thing every day. So we're very boring, guys. We're very boring. FDAX, I can't give you any trades at this stage, but we're going to stay really boring, guys. We're going to stay really boring. Now, I know I've got a couple of traders short for a 50 tick target, eyes on NASDAQ. If you are short, guys, you're looking for a 172.50. We're not going long on the NASDAQ, guys, under any circumstances. Look at the S&P 500. S&P 500 is setting up a really, really lovely short. Right? So it's climactic on the 30-minute candles. Let me just double check that I'm correct. Yeah, both US indexes, guys, are climactic on the 30-minute chart. So again, a sell down on the turn of the hour is actually really quite sexy. Don't trade, I didn't know stuff. 88 trade. Cole, yeah, mate, you could basically say it went within 4 ticks of the 50 fib. So therefore it's a 50 Fibonacci trade. Now, what we were looking for, I wanted to actually trade under the 50 fib. I wanted them to push through and then collect us. As it turns out, they got within a whisker of it and then just shied away. So yeah, mate, you're on the money. On the money. FDAX, I've got nothing for you. Guys, your volume is really good, but I've got nothing for you. Nothing that meets our sort of our algo at this stage. Yeah, come on, that's fine. That's fine. So everybody that's gone short. Everybody that's gone short on the NASDAQ has gone up to 40 ticks in the profit, meaning that everyone has got something out of the trade. Worst case scenario, guys, you go on a short range and a long range target, and your ATM has been triggered on the long range, and therefore you've made money anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. Now, to get another sell here on NASDAQ, guys, we need a higher high. If we're going to sell, if we're going to sell underneath the 50 fib, we need to push through it well before it, blow our steam off, and then we're going to pick up a short and come back the other way. FDAX, I need the FESX to close back below the previous pivot. Guys, and then we're going to get, again, if we get a 4-point turning bar, eyes on the FESX, then we're going to find the markets just tumble. Okay, just tumble. Micro 50%. What I'm at. So we're just kind of all eyes are on FESX, guys, to see what it wants to do. I'll just sweep the news, guys. I don't believe there's any surprises coming news-wise. I'm just going to sweep the news again. Okay. No, guys. As I mentioned earlier, the big news is at 10. The big news is at 10:30 p.m. tonight. That's for the US-based traders. Again, guys, all eyes are on the tariffs. All eyes are on the tariffs, and a bit of a turf war going on between Europe and the US. Europe said yesterday that if Trump gets a little bit unfriendly, they're not going to send any food from Europe to the US, at which the US responded and said, awesome, keep your food, we don't care. So it's actually getting quite interesting to watch. There's no question about that. Now, again, guys, FESX, if we get a 4-point turning bar, what's our volume like? Highly likely to get a 4-point turning bar. If we do, then it's all about selling everything and not buying anything. Ahmed, NQ could be in a 15-minute long. Let me have a quick look. Yes, mate, you are 100% correct. So, guys, again, our little trade there was an absolutely beautiful trade. Now we are looking for, at this stage, we're looking for an efficient candle to close over the top of the 50 fib of the day on NASDAQ. Let me get rid of that fib for a moment. So we're going to look for an efficient close over the top of the 50 fibs. Again, at this stage, buyers have gapped the S&P 500 up. Very, very strong buying presence, guys, on the American market. So again, we're not looking for a short until this volume burns out. At this stage, they're nowhere near burning out on NASDAQ. So just be careful. 50 fib climbing, blowing. And if that occurs, then we're looking for a lovely little short. For a 4-point turning bar, we're getting clear guidance from the FES. ASX at this stage. An interesting point, the ASX have done nothing but buy. They have to go to gap. When they finally decide, you know what, the buying's over. Okay, cool. When they finally say the buying is over, let me switch back. When they say the buying's over, guys, we'll be looking to go back the other way. Just hold on 1 second. Okay, let me just get rid of this in the background. Okay, all right, sound goes then the sound. Oh, Diane, yeah, so it's the broadcast basically catching up. Yeah. It's a broadcast catching up. So at this stage, guys, 9 minutes into hour number 2, we are not taking a trade on FDAX. Not trading a trade on FDAX. We're not going short on the NASDAQ because they failed to hit the volume threshold. In fact, if anything, guys, we're setting up. Wow, NASDAQ. Okay. S&P 500 is into a pivot. Right, so S&P is into a pivot. So we can't go long on the NASDAQ. We can't do anything on FDAX at this stage. Right? We can't do anything on FDAX. NASDAQ, we can't go long. The only trade we can get, ladies and gents, is if the S&P 500 was to push up through the previous pivot, we might be looking for a previous pivot reversal short. So we're kind of caught, guys. Volume is still very good right across the board, but the market is starting to lose its elasticity. It's right on the daily SPR reload. Cole, absolutely brilliant. Let me just have a look at that. Let me just have a look at that. Absolutely correct. So guys, if the NASDAQ can't push any higher, so if we basically cruise around here for about 15, 20, 25 minutes, guys, and then we get a valid static bar reversal short, which is under the 50 fib of the day, as we have literally just retraced back up to daily short levels. So if the NASDAQ doesn't want to go any further to the high side, which it won't until the S&P 500 shows us what it's doing, there could be an absolutely beautiful short setting up on the American markets. If the S&P was to buy to the 50 fib of the day and fail, we could actually be setting up some big shorts, which could actually be quite good fun. Could actually be really, really good fun. Now, I won't switch internet connections again, as in case there is an issue. So we're just bopping along, got good data, all the indicators are working, everything's brilliant. We'll I'll do a reset of the internet, guys, when we finish the session today. I do believe that everyone's had a reasonable opportunity today, guys, which is always good. I'm watching the S&P. I can't send you long, guys. I can't send you long on the NASDAQ over the top of that candle. It's a beautiful candle. No question about that. I was eyeing off that little black diamond there saying, you know what, if we retrace back to the 50, then awesome. But the S&P has actually gapped down at the start of the candle. What does that mean? The sellers are not confident about their ability to push through the previous pivot. So there will be a couple of people that go, you know what, let's go anyway. They might try and push through the previous pivot, and then we're going to catch them coming back the other way, guys, at 49.5. Now, the Nasdaq might push up here, guys, which, again, they're allowed to do that. It makes me a little bit annoyed when they do that. But, again, if we do push up here, all right, so there goes the S&P. They're doing a bit of a recon. S&P is getting really close to burning its volume. So a sell short, if you're a previous pivot trader, a sell short at 49.5, guys, has got some weight behind it. If you want to wait for the close of the candle and then look to enter, guys, you might actually pick up a really nice little sell here. Now, NASDAQ, if we were to get back under the 50 fib of the day, if we got back under the 50 fib of the day, we're looking for a really, really lovely sell down. Understanding that to be the case, guys, we've had a good collection of signals today, so we also don't want to outstay the friendship with the market. So FTX traders, I'd suggest at this stage you've had, obviously the one at the top was a no-brainer. You've had at least 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys have had at least 5 signals. So FTX, you've had at least 5, depending on how you pull it apart. NASDAQ, I didn't have my deltas on at the time, guys, because we had a data issue. Flip side being NASDAQ, you've picked up 2 to 3 trades that have gone where they need to go. And S&P 500, you guys have picked up 2 trades down the bottom, which were absolutely phenomenal. And you've picked up 1 here. So you guys are sitting on, say, 2 to 3. NASDAQ, you're sitting on 2 to 3. FTX, you're sitting on up to 5, which takes us up to 11, guys. And normally we pick up between 12 and 15. Now, there are more delta trades there, guys. I didn't have my deltas on. There are more delta trades. Suffice to say, guys, it looks like we're sitting around about 10 to 11 trades, 10 to 11 good ones. So we're sitting right on the parameters for the session, which is exciting. Now, for the DAX traders, your volume is okay. FESX, you've just closed over the top of the previous pivot. You've got to be kidding. What it means, guys, for the FTX traders, if we do push up to that 90% retracement, okay, so if we were to push up to that 90%, just here, we're looking for a sell underneath that coming back down the other way. If we pushed up and didn't quite get to the 90%, then this static bar reversal here on FTX, we're looking for a short at 582. We've got to get above 582 in order to sell it. Those waiting for the close of the candle on S&P 500. So we've closed under the previous pivot. Okay, so you guys need the buyers to show inside the new candle before a short if you like the short. NASDAQ has closed on the wrong side, guys, or opened on the wrong side of the 50 fib. So I can't send you short on the NASDAQ, even though it is a beautiful formatted signal. I can't send you short. It's a bit of a shame. Guys, are there any questions at all about anything that we've done tonight? FTX was pretty straightforward. Guys, FTX was pretty straightforward. FTX was pretty straightforward. That's thanks, Doggy. Pretty good night, but ATM'd on both trades. FTX was the best. Now, FTX was very, very easy tonight. Right? Yes. Now, mind you, man, if we were trading the US close, everyone would be like, wow, check out the S&P. How good is it? Or the US Open. So, yeah, each market sort of rolls in ebbs and flows. You're on the money. Now, again, guys, the only trade we're going to pick up, again, sorry, the FESX is above a pivot, all right? So it means we're not going to send the FDAX short. We're basically waiting for these guys to ultimately decide what they're doing down here. We're starting to get quite congested, guys, on the US market. So everything's starting to close inside the range of the previous candle. I do believe the NASDAQ is going to go down, guys. I just can't send you short, assuming a close over the 50 fib of the micro trend. The 30-minute charts are telling us we're going short, guys, on both US markets. The FDAX 30-minute chart is saying we're going to go short, but they're probably going to wait till the turn of the hour to do it. And the FTX 15-minute chart, as if they buy up any higher, we're setting up the most beautiful shorts. So I need this little FESX to go and close back under a previous pivot, please, because the FTX is setting up beautiful trades. Ah, dearie me. All right, so if we close, guys, 2 minutes, if we close underneath the 50 fib of the day on the NASDAQ, we're looking for a short. We're 20 minutes into the second hour, so may I suggest, guys and girls, that we're probably going to bank our cash, run away, come back tomorrow, guys, and do the whole thing again. Let's just keep an eye on what they're up to. Fibonacci, they're starting to trade outside the range of that fib, guys, on FTX, so we're probably looking for this one. Okay. Let's see what we get, guys. Let's see what we get. So any questions at all, guys? Any questions from anyone? Oh, we had really, really good, what are we sitting at the moment? We had about 70 traders in the room before. Guys, still sitting at well over 40. So lots of people have run away. Even my wife has left. gives you an idea of how serious the message is. Once you're over your daily goal, please run, guys. But don't get romanced. Has anyone ever been romanced into taking a trade, you know, once they're well over their goal, you take another trade and go, why the hell am I in this trade? Then in playback and was doing very well. Oh, Toby, it's a great, man. It's a great lesson. It's a great lesson. Yeah. So guys, just don't do it. Again, you know, I think success in trading leaves clues. Failure also leaves clues. I took one trade today, guys. It's gone through my target. I didn't chase long range targets today. I generally don't do that when I'm running a TTP session because there's enough going on already without trying to run long range targets in the background. Anybody that did run long range targets on FTX today, wow, what a session. Like really amazing session. Now the FTX has actually given us, now we're not going to take the long. Mathematically, the FTX has given us a long. We're not going to take it because this is basically where the FTX failed last time. Just for entry point, the big efficient one rated candle there, we try and enter 1 point outside the range at 94. As the first target is 99, it's already gone through target. The second target is 604. So again, as FESX has finally decided it wants to buy, what's the response on the FTX to give us a really, really lovely candle? In saying that, guys, we're about to pick up a lovely reversal. Okay, S&P going to turn short, most likely. Sophia, I'll tell you that. Just hold on one tick. So for the DAXI traders, if we push through the pre-top, you guys are picking up an absolutely wonderful short, guys, as low as 0.3. But don't let me romance you into taking another trade if you're over your daily goal, please. Sophia, so great question. When is the S&P going to turn? So my first port of call for the S&P 500 would be to have a quick look at the daily chart. Okay, now a bit of Fibonacci across there. Nothing on that one. There's nothing on that one. So I'll drop down to the 4-hour chart. Okay, let me just check the lower ones first. Okay, hang on a sec. Hang on one sec. So here's my 30-minute chart. Okay, so your Fibonacci on the 30-minute chart is going to look like this. FTX traders, just watch, guys and girls. You've got the push through. So again, guys, you might be trading in sim. Guys, depending on how you're pulling that apart. If you are going to go short on the FTX, guys, your short's as high as 0.5 with a target of 600. I prefer 0.3 because you're basically saying to the sellers, if you're genuinely interested, then you're going to pick up my sell order and you're going to smash my target very fast. I don't think that's the Fibonacci they're using. I think it's this one here. So hold on one sec. Let me snap this on and off, make sure it's correct. Okay, that's the Fibonacci they're using. So we are about to turn. We're about to turn on the S&P 500. Let me have a look. Let me have a quick look. 15-minute chart. I'd suggest we're turning already. I'd suggest the S&P is going to turn quite nicely. FTX market data through GTP European derivatives. Yes, Andy, absolutely correct. Guys, in a shout out, guys, a shout out to Emma, guys, in Western Australia. Emma started the TTP funding process and got funded in 3 days. I see that's brilliant. Okay, so for those that are looking at getting funded, guys, there are people getting funded in 3 days, which is really, really quite exciting. And to answer the question from before, Sophia, the S&P is turning right now. So what we're looking for in 6 minutes from now, we want this little candle mean, I'd love it to be a really, really big fat red one. That'd be awesome. But I'd suggest even if we get this even if we get that little candle there in 6 minutes time, they're probably going to sell down to around about 147. So they should have no trouble. Selling down to 147 on the S&P 500. Now, FTX, guys, not going to take a trade in the last 90 seconds. So the long that we were talking about on FTX, is the long here. Again, it is a valid long, no question about that at all. Basically, the FTX is just driving the momentum of the market. Now the FESX wants to buy, but it's probably going to turn, guys, relatively soon and come back the other way. And S&P, guys, for those that are short under the previous pivot, so a number of you are short one tick under the previous pivot at 49.5. As you would be looking for your first sort of port of call and risk control point. Your volatility is only 5. Right? It's only 5. So you would be looking for a 3-tick first target and risk control point, okay, which you're on now. So you're starting to go, all right, take a little bit of money off the market, and then I'm going to try and get it to move around about 6 ticks and keep rolling it down. So guys, young Arlen is back. Hello. Let me just, I'm going to see if my camera will turn on. It didn't want to play the game last week. Let me just see. Let me just have a crack at it. Oh, okay. So I'm not going to tempt, guys, the technology angels. So guys, look, we've Arlen, bit of feedback once again. Thank you for having us. It's been good fun. We've picked up around about 10 to 11 really lovely trades. FTX by far was the easiest by a long way today, followed by the S&P, followed by the Nasdaq. So we've done okay. A lot of traders have left because they've nailed their daily goals, and we've got traders getting funded in 3 days with TTP. So it's all quite exciting.
I'm excited for you guys. Good job. Thank you so much, Lachlan, for another very, very good session. We love seeing it. We love how we take advantage of the volatility of the market. And it's really nice to see. I mean, I'm joining towards the end again, right? And I'm seeing that some people left already, but I mean, they already made their daily targets. So, I mean, we're happy for them as well. So guys, thank you so much for joining and watching. If anyone is watching from our live streaming, guys, don't forget you can sign up to be part of the conversation, part of the chat. Make sure you register for next week's live trading room through our website. And I mean, I will see everyone next week here again in the live trading room.
Sounds great. So guys, thank you for having me wherever you are in the world. I hope that was good fun. I hope you learned something. Hope you've made some money. I have, lots of traders have, which is exciting. So I'll see you next Thursday. And for those in the trading room with Samurai, I'll see you tomorrow. And Arlen, thank you again for having us. It's been magic. So cool. Bye, everybody.